What's up guys, I'm Rhett. I'm a software engineer and solopreneur based out of Houston. And today I'm going to show you guys how to set up your Ledger Stax from scratch and get the most value out of it. As you can probably tell, this is going to be a longer video. So feel free to use the timestamps down in the timeline to skip around to the parts that are relevant to you. And as always, the links to everything that we cover will be down in the description. The Ledger Stax is the flagship hardware wallet from Ledger, the biggest hardware wallet manufacturer in the world. The Stax supports over 5,000 cryptocurrencies, which is good because it might show you how difficult it is to custody some of your favorite altcoins and give you an opportunity to sell out of them before it's too late. Self-custody is how I decided to sell out of a lot of altcoins back in 2017 and 2018. Some of them were just clearly not ready for prime time. They weren't very easy to self-custody and they were really hard to send and receive out of my hardware wallet. And that decision and doing that work actually saved me a ton of money in the long run. But besides that, hardware wallets are great because they keep your cryptocurrency safe from exchange hacks and vulnerabilities in software wallets like MetaMask. Private keys created by these devices are generated offline, and they're stored in the secure element of your hardware wallet that no one can access through the internet. If you're using a hardware wallet, the only way someone can steal your crypto is if they get their hands on your seed phrase or steal your physical device and your device password. This is why it's incredibly important to keep your seed phrase safe. I don't even like putting them on pieces of paper. I would much prefer to back up my seed phrase into metal plates like the ones over a crypto tag. And if you're using DeFi, be sure to only interact with legitimate protocols. Having a hardware wallet won't stop you from getting scammed or rug pulled by shady projects. Finally, we have to talk about Ledger Recover. Ledger's new service, Ledger Recover, rolled out back in 2023 to a ton of controversy, and Ledger Recover is available on this device. And if you want to dive deep into the pros and cons of Ledger Recover and generally the security trade-offs that it's making, I made a video on the topic about a year ago that I'll leave up in the cards and down in the description. And while there are strong arguments that you could go get a cold card or some other open source air-gapped hardware wallet and that's going to be more secure for you, those solutions are also a lot less user-friendly. And one of the best ways to lose your crypto is by over-engineering your security setup. Products like the Ledger Stax are a step in the right direction for 99% of people, and they're also way more user-friendly than a lot of the other options out there on the market. It's a really great first step into the world of self-custody. So next, let's go ahead and check out what you get in the box when you receive your Ledger Stax. So it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to open this. It comes with this magnet shell in the box. It looks like on the website it is still coming with this magnet shell, which might have, in part be the reason that it's more expensive. But let's go ahead and open this. And of course, I do not have a knife or anything good to open this with. But here we go. I'm super excited to open this. So we've got a recovery sheet. This is the device. This is crazy. This is incredibly thin. I thought there were two recovery sheets. It's the same size as the recovery sheet. That's crazy. What does it say on the side? Welcome to Ledger Stax, dude. I was coming into this, honestly, prepared to hate this thing because it's expensive and I have hardware wallets. This is really, really cool. Recovery sheet, cable, USB-C to USB-C. Let's go. Regular recovery sheet. Looks like it's got a single 24-word recovery phrase. Secret recovery sheet. Don't share it. Don't lose it. Don't digitize it. Do hammer it into sheets of metal crypto tag. Link in the description. So recovery sheet, we'll be dealing with that later. All the good stuff that I did for the first unboxing, I've just undone it. So again, got magnets in here. And this is a really cool case. It's super minimal. It's very thin, as you can see. This thing is really cool, right? Unfortunately, for all the haters out there on the internet, $400 hardware wallet. It's really, really cool. It is incredibly thin. I did not think it would be this thin. It doesn't feel, I almost want to get here is my wallet, my very, very thin Apple wallet with 3 cards in it. I think this is smaller. This has a smaller footprint than my current wallet, my Apple wallet. This thing is really, really small. I thought it would be bigger. I thought it would be bulky. I thought it would be heavier. It's not. It's really, this is pretty impressive. I think that there's a plastic seal on here still. Pull this little white tab. Trust yourself to take off the plastic. Got a little button up here. Got this side thing, similar to iPhones. iPhones have the side thing too. I don't know what it is. But this design language is just very similar. It would actually be kind of neat, like if it could snap to the back of an iPhone and you started to carry around things like this as almost like a YubiKey. Enough with the unboxing. I was going to go to bed, but I really want to set this thing up now. First impressions, very impressed. How does it fit into the little wallet thing? You just open it. I just did that. I thought I was not going to be able to do it. That was the easiest thing I've ever done. You literally can't mess that up. You wouldn't be able to mess it up if you tried. It feels so good in the hand. People are going to hate it. People online, I can already hear them. Oh, but Ledger Recover sucks. This is a really, really cool product, unfortunately, for all the haters and losers out there. This thing is really cool. Let's set it up. All right, so after you have put this together, you can go ahead and press this power button, and it's going to turn on the wallet for the first time. So Ledger Stax, the most trusted place for your digital assets. Tap to continue. Ledger Stax is going to generate and store my private keys. These keys give me ownership and control over my crypto and NFTs. Use Ledger Stax together with the Ledger Live app and create and sign transactions. So I can choose here to set it up with Ledger Live Mobile or with Ledger Live Desktop. Or you can choose to set it up without Ledger Live, which might be possible if you're trying to migrate an existing seed from something like Sparrow Wallet. First, let's go ahead and use Ledger Live Desktop, just because I don't think the mobile experience is going to be the same for everyone. I want this video to work for both people that are using Android and iOS, but unfortunately I only have a Mac and iOS devices. So first we'll do the desktop experience, and then I'll wipe it and we'll redo it from the mobile experience later on in the video. So go down in the timeline if you just want to see the mobile experience. But for now, let's go ahead and click on Ledger Live Desktop. Go to ledger.com/start and install Ledger Live Desktop and launch the application. So we'll head over here on our desktops to ledger.com/start. Again, remember to never download any Ledger software from a third-party website. Always get it directly from ledger.com, and I'll have a link to the downloads down in the description. So we'll see immediately here the download link for Ledger Live. I'm just going to click on this little arrow and then choose my operating system. So I'm using a Mac, so I'll choose Mac. And then I'll go ahead and open up Ledger Live on my desktop. When we open up Ledger Live for the first time, we'll see a splash screen like this, and we can just go ahead and click on Get Started. Next, we'll select our Ledger Stax as the device that we're setting up, and then we'll connect our Ledger Stax to our computers using our USB cable. So the first thing Ledger Live is going to do is make sure that our Ledger Stax is a genuine Ledger Stax that's coming from Ledger, and that it's not installed with any malware, and that we didn't get like a fake device in the mail or something like that. So let's go ahead and check to make sure that our Ledger Stax is genuine. And now it's going to update the operating system on our Ledger Stax. We'll go ahead and click Update here on the computer, and then we'll click on Install Update. Now we'll click to install our operating system update on the Ledger Stax. So now on the Stax, we're seeing just the splash screen again, and on the computer, we're seeing a little Finish button down here. So we'll click Finish and continue through on Ledger Live. We'll click on Allow to allow the genuine check to go through again, and then we'll see that we were successful here, and we can continue to set up. So now we're seeing that we can set up our Ledger Stax here directly on the device, which is a huge change from the Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S. So I'm going to switch over here and start to focus on the Ledger Stax, because we're going to be using the Ledger Stax screen to do a lot of the rest of the setup. So let's click on Set Name for the Ledger Stax. If you have giant fingers, you might have trouble with this. I'm also trying to do it through the camera. It's making it a little harder. Okay, so it was easier when I wasn't doing it through the camera. Now we'll set our PIN code, and it's actually just taking us step by step through this in parallel on Ledger Live on my computer. But it's really cool that you can do this entire setup directly from the Ledger Stax device itself. If you enter your PIN code wrong 3 times in a row, your Ledger is going to reset to factory settings, so make sure that you remember your PIN code and probably write it down in a password manager like 1Password. So I'll choose a PIN. For demo purposes, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've set our PIN, and now we can tap to continue. Next, we're going to choose how to set up the Ledger Stax. I'm going to choose to set this up as a brand new ledger. So now we're going to generate what Ledger calls our secret recovery phrase. It's basically a seed phrase or a private key, and it's the thing that allows you to move Bitcoin from an address that you control to anywhere else on the Bitcoin network or whatever cryptocurrency you're using. It's a sequence of 24 words which cannot be changed or chosen, because if you chose the 24 words, it's likely they wouldn't be random enough. And I've done a video about that I'll leave up in the cards and down in the description. If your ledger is ever broken, stolen, or lost, these 24 words are the only way to ever recover your wallet. Anyone who knows your secret phrase can steal your funds forever. So again, don't put your secret phrase online. Don't back it up to your iPhone. It needs to live on this device only, and then also in our little backup document here, and preferably hammered into a sheet of metal. Go get a crypto tag. And basically Ledger is telling us the same thing here. Never take a picture of your phrase, never enter your phrase on your mobile phone or computer. And also obviously never give it to anyone else. So now we're going to write down these 24 words here. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and write these on this piece of paper and show it to the camera, but I'm not going to use this wallet for real. And if I do use the wallet for real, I'll generate a new seed phrase, because this seed phrase is now on the internet and totally compromised. Make sure when you are writing them down that you're writing them down next to the appropriate number. And it's good how they've kind of fanned it out like this so that it's really hard for you to write it out in the wrong way. But you'll see how it's one sheriff and I've written one sheriff. The order of the words matters a lot. And so make sure that you get that order correct. Alrighty, so I have written down all 24 of these words that were generated on the stacks. So now we're going to confirm that we've written these words down correctly, and I'm hoping that this process is a lot faster than what it used to be on the Ledger Nano X and S. This is really cool. We can just select the word. This process is going to be way faster because of the touchscreen. So the first word was sheriff. Now it's confirming our wallet. Secret phase confirmed. Oh, and we have a cool little Rhett Stax right there. That's kind of neat. And there's our battery indicator and the fact that our thing is unlocked. I have gushed over this device enough, but maybe I haven't gushed over it enough because it is really, really cool. And I kind of wish I had more than one so that I could stack them together and see what all the different ones are. Because you could name them all something different, which is a stupid reason to buy multiple $400 hardware wallets. But here we are. Your recovery phrase for your eyes only. Don't share it. Don't lose it. Now I'm in control. Let's go. Continue using Ledger Live. Alrighty. We will head back to Ledger Live here. I can't make this any bigger, unfortunately. There's no zoom in function on Ledger Live right now. So you can do, I want a digital backup, or you can do, no, I'm good with paper. Let's see what happens if you do digital backup. Aha! It wants you to sign up for Ledger Recover. So I'm just going to choose paper backup. I don't think Ledger Recover is evil or anything. There's definitely a time and a place for it. If you guys want to see me do a video on it, on just Ledger Recover, comparing to other options that are out there, let me know down in the comments. And again, check out that video that I did last year covering the service when it originally came out. So we're going to continue just with paper, and then we'll start to install our apps for our different currencies that we're going to be using on the Ledger Stax. So let's go ahead and install those now. The first two that it's going to install are the Bitcoin app and the Ethereum app. And you'll see that happening live on the device here, which again is really cool and a welcome change from the Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S Plus. Alrighty, so there are our apps, and now our Ledger Stax is ready. And if we switch back to the computer, a bunch of stuff is going on. Got a cool little animation. And now we can transfer assets, buy some crypto, customize our lock screen with any digital art or picture, or subscribe to Ledger Recover. So let's go ahead and try to customize the lock screen first. I'm actually kind of interested in that. So we can choose here to upload from our computer or choose an NFT. I'm not really into NFTs, to be honest. I think they're a little, maybe I'll get one day, but I'm not at that point in life yet. So I'll go ahead and instead upload from computer. All right, so I'm gonna choose my little YouTube profile icon, and I'm gonna confirm the crop. And then it looks like you can do different, how blurred out do you want it to be? I will just take regular, confirm contrast. My device is locked. All right, gotta unlock the device. To unlock, you just press this little button on the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll click on retry, load picture. This is so easy, I might not even need to make this video. The setup process is legitimately so simple. Is this gonna be so sick? Yeah, that is gonna be so sick. It looks sicker. The lighting on the iPad is not great right now. It looks better in real life, but I like it. I'm gonna keep that. That's pretty cool. So now it says Rhett Stax on the side, and now I have my lock picture. So tap to dismiss this, and then I wonder if I just lock this. Now I got my picture up here, dude. This is sick, man. You wanna hate it, but it's hard to hate it. It's hard to hate it. It's so clean. People are going to hate this, man. People are going to hate it. They're going to hate it so much. Oh, why do you have your face on your hardware wallet? Hardware wallet's supposed to be anonymous. It's pretty cool. Honestly, don't even put any money on it. Is that stupid? Is that the dumbest thing you ever heard? It's pretty cool. So that's kind of neat. Now let's put some money on it. We'll go ahead and click on close here in the Ledger Live app. We'll head back over here. and then we will transfer assets to my ledger. So next we're going to transfer assets to our ledger, but I'm going to say that I'll do this later so that we can kind of navigate around Ledger Live first and sort of understand where things are at. So earn, you can like stake your assets. I don't really do this. I think it's kind of, you can refer a friend, link in the description. Down here in my ledger is where we're going to be able to change our lock screen picture to whatever else we want if we get sick of what we had already loaded on here. But then more importantly, we're going to be able to install a bunch of other apps. So here are the apps that I've currently installed, just Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then here are the apps that I'm capable of installing. So I think I'm also going to install not XRP, but Matic, because it's fun to mess around with NFTs that are super inexpensive sometimes. You could download XMR. It requires a third-party wallet. It seems like that whole privacy experiment is kind of over. You could download EOS and find out how difficult it is to self-custody EOS. Maybe they've made it easier since 2018. Just don't buy these things is the better answer. Is just forget about all of these. Download Kiln, figure out that it sucks, and then never use it again. Sell it for, buy something better, right? Literally anything else. So you'll come in here, you'll install all the apps that you want to install. For me, I really just use Bitcoin, sometimes Ethereum. If I'm trying to do an NFT demo, I might use whatever that one, Polygon, but I don't really use any of these other ones. So next, after you've installed your appropriate apps, you can come back up here to Portfolio, and you can click up here. You should be seeing something, what's next for your Ledger Stax. And you can click here on see what's next. And then you should get back to this screen where you actually have to click from the screen to transfer assets to your ledger. So here we can go ahead and click on Bitcoin as an asset that we want to receive. And we'll click on continue. We'll open up, we're prompted to open up the Bitcoin app on the Ledger Stax. And then now it's synchronizing for us into Ledger Live so that we have a Bitcoin account that we can touch whenever we want to. And then here for an advanced option, there's show all address types. And if I click this, I can create not only a Bitcoin native SegWit wallet, but I can also create a Taproot wallet, which I might want to if I'm trying to get into some sort of like Taproot assets situation. Or I can just continue with native SegWit. I think Taproot fees might also be lower. Most people will be good just creating a native SegWit wallet, but I'm going to actually create a native SegWit and a Taproot wallet. So I'll just click on add these accounts. So now when I click on done, and then I click back on, I'll do this later, I guess. Now I'm up and running on accounts over here, and now I have access to the account button. So that's sort of a weird workflow. I would actually probably just recommend that you set up those accounts from scratch on that first screen the first time. That way you don't have to like go back and forth like I did and rely on that like top bar. They'll probably fix that in future software updates, but bottom line is you need to create these accounts. Once you've created your accounts, you'll have access to this little accounts tab over here, and then you can create some more accounts. So I'll click on, now I'm going to create an Ethereum account, and then I'll quit this Bitcoin app and I'll actually open the Ethereum app. And so now it's synchronizing for me as well, and I'll just call this Ethereum. And so it has synchronized for me, and now I'll just click on add account. And now we'll see that I have my 2 Bitcoin accounts and my 1 Ethereum account. Next, if we want to receive Bitcoin to this account, we can just click on this Bitcoin wallet and then click on receive, click on continue here. We'll open up the Bitcoin app on our wallet here so that it can generate a receive address for us. Or if we don't have our device, we can click that button down there and it should give us a new address. But we can confirm that this is an address generated by this wallet by clicking on the stacks here. We're actually going to swipe, and it's going to show us the address here, and we're just going to compare that to the one that we're seeing on our computer. The one that you see on the device is the legitimate address. If you ever had a weird virus or something on your computer, it might be showing you a different address here. You just want to make sure that you're seeing the same things here. Generally, what I do is just check the last probably 4 or 5 characters of the address and the first 4 or 5 characters of the address. They look the same, and so I think I'm going to be good to go. First thing, I'm going to copy this address so that I can use it in Coinbase, and then I'm going to click on confirm on my wallet here so that it goes away. Next, we'll open up Coinbase here, and we'll click on transfer, and we're just going to send some Bitcoin to that address that we copied from the ledger. So we're going to send Bitcoin to this address, and we'll send $10. Preview send. And then we're going to pay 45 cents in fees, and we'll make sure to send that now. All right, so we sent our 15,000 Satoshis over to our ledger. We'll wait for a few minutes here, and we'll eventually see the transaction get picked up by the blockchain and then eventually confirmed in our Ledger Stax. And again, you'll follow that exact same process with any other exchange and cryptocurrency pair that you want to store on your ledger. All right, guys, so here is our $10 of Bitcoin that came through. And then if we wanted to send that back to Coinbase, we could click this send button here. We'd go back over to Coinbase and try to receive some crypto. We'll pick Bitcoin, copy our Bitcoin address here, back over to Ledger, we would paste that in and click on continue. We'll choose to send it all just for the sake of simplicity. And then down here, we can choose whether we want our transaction to show up slow, medium, or fast. And we have some advanced options over here. If you want to check the mempool and set your own fee rate, just be aware that if you set a fee rate that is too low, your transaction might not clear ever or in any meaningful amount of time. It might take, months or longer for your transaction to clear. And so really be careful with this advanced feature. It's really better for most people to be using the standard feature. Also over here in advanced though, we have an ability to do coin control, which is something that you might be familiar with if you've seen some tutorials on this channel from Sparrow Wallet. And you can check out this little link that Ledger Live has here, or you can check out the videos that I've done on this channel up in the cards or down in the description explaining what a UTXO is and why you should care about it. So after we've set our fee rate here, we can click on continue, and then we'll go ahead and click on continue again, and then we'll open our Bitcoin app, which we're going to be prompted to do on our Ledger Stax. And so now we'll see that we're able to review this transaction on our Ledger Stax that we're seeing on the screen here on our computers. We'll swipe over here to review the transaction. We can see exactly what our address that we're trying to send to is, and we can compare that to the address that we're trying to send to over on the computer. And then we'll simply hold here to sign. So now if we head back to the computer, we'll see that our account balance will be updated and that we have sent the transaction out to the blockchain. So that's how to set up a ledger using Ledger Live on your desktop, and then fund your wallet, and most importantly, be able to get the funds out of your wallet if you want to sell them or move them to some other wallet. Remember that it's not enough to test just receiving. You also have to test sending, because that's the entire point of the ledger in the first place. It's the keys that allow you to move the money over to someone else. Next, let's go through these setup steps over on mobile. So the first step we're going to do here is just go ahead and download Ledger Live from the App Store, and then we'll go ahead and open it once it's downloaded. So we have two options here for getting started. If you've just gone through all those desktop steps and you want to set up the exact same Ledger Live here on your mobile, you can click on Access Your Wallet. And let's go ahead and do that first, and then we'll go through a full fresh setup using only your mobile phone. We'll click on Sync with your Ledger Live desktop, and then click on I'm ready to scan. Meanwhile, over on the computer, we're going to click on Settings, Accounts, and Export Accounts. And then we're going to see this crazy QR code thing here, and we'll see on our phones, you can't really see it. We'll see on our phones here that it has imported all of our 3 different accounts. So that Ethereum account, the Segwit account, and the Taproot account, and all of the desktop settings. So let's click here on Import, and now we've got that exact same wallet that we just had, where if we click into the Segwit account here, we should be able to see our send and receive transactions that we just completed over on the desktop tutorial. So that's it. Now we've cloned our desktop version of Ledger Live over onto mobile, but next let's go through a full mobile tutorial where we're only using the mobile phone. All right, guys, so if you skipped this part of the video, we're going to be setting it up with a mobile device for the first time. Here I have my iPhone and my Ledger Stax, and I've wiped the Ledger Stax. You can see on the side, it just has like a random Ledger Stax number, and I have done a fresh install of the Ledger Live app. So if you're doing this for the very first time, you should see a very similar experience. Let's go ahead and click open on the Ledger Live app. We'll click on Get Started, and then we'll click on Set Up Your Ledger. We'll click on Ledger Stax, and then we'll allow Ledger Live to connect to Bluetooth, and it will find our Ledger Stax immediately. You can see over here it's 52CB, and on my phone it's also 52CB. So now we're pairing. I'll choose to pair because the codes match, and now our devices are paired. We're going to go through the genuine check. This is just making sure that our device is not like a pirated device or anything. We'll click on allow here, and then continue to set up. We'll give a name to the stacks. It's easier if I just type this off screen because the things are really small. So I have Rhett Mobile. You can see how small the keys are here. And I'll just click on confirm name. And then as soon as you confirm the name, you'll see that the name is engraved here on the side for you. So it said something else before, and now it says Rhett Mobile. And then we'll just tap here to continue. And we're going to do a lot of the rest of the setup just on the Stax device directly. You'll see that the phone is kind of giving us a legend of what we're going to end up doing, but all of the actual setup is done on device, which is a really cool experience compared to the Ledger Nano X and Ledger Nano S. So I'm going to set a new pin. I'll choose 1, 2, 3, 4 and click OK. And it shuffles the arrangement here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and then tap to continue. Next, choose how you'd like to set up this Ledger Stax. I'm actually going to restore it from the seed phrase that we generated in the desktop version of this video, just to show you what the process is like for restoring from a seed phrase. You could do this with any existing seed phrase that you have that you might be trying to bring to the Ledger Stax. But again, I recommend that definitely don't take this seed phrase because it's been exposed to the internet. As soon as you expose a seed phrase to the internet, it's not safe anymore. If you generated a seed phrase on your mobile wallet, maybe you're using Exodus, maybe you're using MetaMask, maybe you're using Blue Wallet, you shouldn't generate a hot wallet seed phrase that's connected to the internet and then load that into your Ledger Stax, because you're defeating the purpose of getting a hardware wallet in the first place. So I'm gonna go ahead and restore with this seed phrase just to show you what the process is like, but don't do this with a compromised seed phrase like I'm doing it. So I'm going to restore with my secret recovery phrase, and then back here you also have the option to restore using Ledger Recover, but I don't have that obviously. So my seed phrase happens to be 24 words. You could also use an 18-word or a 12-word seed phrase, but by default, Ledger Stax is using 24-word seed phrases. So we'll click on 24. If my first word is sheriff, you'll see that as soon as I type in SHE, I'm already pared down to it's either shed, shell, or sheriff, so I can type in sheriff. We'll go through this whole process. I'll try to do some of it on camera, but it's a lot slower for me to do it on camera. So you have to enter the words one by one here, but the good news is as soon as you type in the first couple letters, we'll see hat is my second word. My third word is longer, so peace. But as soon as you type in 3 letters, you should be pretty close to one of these words, so that's going to help you go a little bit faster. So I'm going to just speed through the rest of this. I actually messed a word up, and so now I'm going to get to go back and re-enter that word. So if you mess up, just press this back button up here and you can re-enter the word. Something that's kind of nice also is that my next word is bundle. If I type in B here, it's auto filtering with what the only possible letters are for you to enter next based on BIP39, the word dictionary of what words it could possibly be. And so it's not like you have to type literally every letter. It's that okay, this one I'm going to type U, and that's one of my 6 options to type in. And now N is one of my valid options, and now it knows that bundle is my answer. All right, so I've entered all 24 words here, and now it's confirming my seed phrase. Don't share your seed phrase, don't lose it, and now we're in control. And we'll continue setting up using the Ledger Live app on the phone. You can choose here if you want a digital backup using Ledger Recover. I don't, and again, Ledger Recover information up in the cards down in the description. I'm gonna continue with paper and then install some apps. So the first things it's going to do is install the Bitcoin and Ethereum apps on my phone. And again, this is a totally wireless process. So now we have installed our apps, and now we can click down here on Customize Lock Screen. We'll choose a picture, and we can choose from our picture gallery, or we can choose an NFT. I don't have any NFTs, so I'm just going to choose a picture from my iPhone gallery. This time, I will choose a picture of this fat cat that says buy Bitcoin. My device is locked, so I need to unlock it, but the fat cat is coming. Nothing can stop the cat. Retry. That big, old chonker. Do I like what I see? Is that a trick question? Tap to dismiss. Lock. Look at that chonker. Buy Bitcoin. What's the date on that photo? May 9th, 2020. Okay, we have to check the price. What a call. That is the 560% cat right there. That's crazy. Let's go. Let's go buy Bitcoin, chonker. So the chonker prevails. If enough people see this video, maybe I'll turn the chonker into an NFT and we can sell it to the highest bidder. Okay, we're back in Ledger Live. We've recovered this. You should buy Bitcoin. That is a fat cat. Pretty funny stuff. Okay, what will we do next? We will transfer some assets to our ledger. We will transfer some Bitcoin to our ledger. And here we will open the Bitcoin app. And now it's creating some accounts over on our Ledger Live on our mobile device. And it's found both of our accounts from earlier in the video because we loaded this seed phrase from the desktop wallet. So we'll just choose a Bitcoin native Segwit wallet here. We'll verify the address. It's now talking to the ledger. Now it's asking me to verify the address. This one over here is ending in KNJN. And if I swipe on the Ledger Stax, I can either pull up this QR code and scan it with my phone, or I can just read KNJN there, KNJN over here. They're the same, gonna confirm. Now that's good to go. This is definitely an address that has been generated by the Ledger Stax. And so now I can copy this address over to Coinbase, open up my Coinbase app. I can go to my little send button. I'll send some Bitcoin. I will probably allow paste from Ledger Live, I guess. KNJN is that address. Click on that address. I'll send over $50 of Bitcoin, continue, and then send that money over. And there we go. My $50 is on its way to my Ledger Live. Now we will sit here. I can set up the rest of this later. I would recommend that you probably don't buy crypto from Ledger Live. I would probably recommend you just use Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini or, you know, whatever is big in your local jurisdiction. You could also use Bitcoin specific ones like Strike or River. So for the rest of this, I'll just go ahead and say that I'm going to do the rest of it later. And now if I click on this Bitcoin wallet, we should eventually here see that $50 coming through into this native SegWit account. And in the meantime, we can stare at this glorious, glorious chonker. All right, so we've got our $50 that's landed in our ledgers, and we've got our buy Bitcoin chonker over here. Let's go ahead and figure out how to send this money back over to our Coinbase account, or maybe over to our Strike account. So next we'll click on send here. We'll go ahead and enter an address here from Strike. Receive, copy this address, back over to Ledger, paste the address, bada bing, continue, double check real quick that that's 9MVO and that this was 9MVO, cool. And we'll click on continue. This time we're gonna only send out $30. Click on continue. We can choose our fee speed here. We can also click on customize fees and set a custom sats per byte. You'll notice that we don't have access to coin control here. And so if you want some of those more custom UTXOE kind of features, you're gonna have to use Ledger Live on the desktop. And if you're like, Rhett, what the hell's a UTXO? There's gonna be a link up in the cards, down in the description. It'll tell you what a UTXO is. They're really important. They're kind of confusing, but you should learn about them. So next we'll just continue our transaction here. We'll click continue. It's going to ask us to connect the device. And so we'll unlock Big Chonker over here, hit it with 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's opened our Bitcoin app. And we're gonna go ahead and swipe through here, review our transaction on the stacks. It's really cool that we can see the entire address. 9MVO is where we were sending it to. They could do a little bit better of a job in Ledger Live of on this final screen showing you that address again. That would be good so that you can compare them side by side like this. They're doing a really good job with the fees and the amount. They're just missing that address. So hopefully that gets fixed by the time you're watching this video. But I do remember that it was 9MVO, so I'm gonna swipe through and just click this to hold and sign. So now our transaction is processing over Bluetooth here. And now we're signed and sent. We can view details, and we can even open this in a block explorer. We'll go back to Strike, and eventually here we will see that we have received more Bitcoin, hopefully. And there it is, our initiated Bitcoin payment that we just sent out. So overall, I'd say the mobile experience is a little bit easier, but I would recommend that you set it up on the desktop first and then just move it over to mobile, unless you really are only ever going to use it on mobile, in which case, obviously, feel free to just set it up on mobile. But I don't think that right now there's a way to move it from mobile to desktop in the same way that there is to move it from desktop to mobile. I think you're going through the setup process again on desktop, which is probably fine. But that's how to set up a Ledger Stax from scratch, send crypto to it, send crypto out of it on desktop, on mobile. And you will notice that right now there are still $20 of Bitcoin left in this wallet. And there is a seed phrase right here on the internet for someone to take the last $20. I know, a huge prize, but something. It's kind of like a giveaway. It's kind of like you watched a really long video of me setting up a hardware wallet, and now I'm giving you, one of you, a lucky one of you, $19.27. You're welcome. Overall, this is a really cool product that is probably not worth $400. It is incredibly sleek. It is incredibly cool. If you really love NFTs and you're just super into cloud chasing, or you love Big Chonker, the Bitcoin kitty. Oh, Big Chonker. What have you done? What have they done to you? If you are super into NFTs, you just get one of these. I'm going to be doing a Ledger Flex review, which is like the budget Ledger Stax that they released and announced like right as they sent these in the mail. So like people that have bought these years ago still don't have them, but I just got my Ledger Flex in the mail. I think this is the future. I think that this is the form factor that we're going to remember hardware wallets as this form factor. We're not going to remember this USB stick thing anymore. The USB stick thing is dead. This was much, much easier to use. It was much easier to put in my seed phrase. It was much easier to restore from my seed phrase. It's much easier to interact with. And there's a lot of stuff I think that this thing can do that I did not show off in this video. First of all, you can stack them if you have $1,000 to spend on hardware wallets. And then when you stack them, one will say Rhett Mobile and have Big Chonker on it. And the next one will say Rhett's business account and have, you know, a slimmer, more athletic cat on it. The fact that you can see the entire public key on here is a game changer. The form factor of the device, it's so good to hold. It's so small. It's so light. It has wireless charging, so you can just set it down on things to charge it. And then I think that there are probably some interesting implications of the fact that there's NFC on this. I could totally see this as a form factor where there's magnets in it too. Eventually, if it becomes compatible with iPhones and Androids and it can just sit on the back of your phone like this and become a passkey device on top of also being a cryptocurrency wallet. Really, the applications for this form factor and the technology that they've put into this thing are pretty endless. And while this is definitely not a product for everyone, it is, I think, the future of this category of products, which is really cool. I'll be reviewing the Ledger Flex soon. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully that's more mass market of a device. But if you like this video, definitely smash the like button. Hopefully one of you can figure out how to get the $20 out of that Bitcoin wallet. If you're the person that wins it, that's awesome. Let me know down in the comments or over on the Discord. I do still respond to all the comments. And then check out these videos right here to learn more about hardware wallets. I love you all. See you next week.